it was actually for him because he told me that he prefers smoking it like that instead of in
See, and I love the
a
balls.
bowl.
Oh, we can move this fan around, maybe turn it or something, so it's like not in our heads.
Just bring it this way.
There you go.
It's a heavy fan.
But no, I've got a lot of organizing back over there, but
Morning.
Alright, guys.
Hola.
After you get your mom. I was like, I wasn't sure if you were here or not, but.
It looks like you had an interesting night.
there you go.
You forgot the mold. No, I'm just kidding. Rub it in your nose. You're gonna scrap or something.
I don't know. It happened in my sleep a couple nights ago.
You fighting a polar bear in your sleep?
I think my baby boy, because he likes to sleep at the top, I think he must have scratched my face in my sleep. Well, thank God he didn't get my eye, because he did a pretty good job on that.
Where it's going.
Can I ask you a huge favor?
Sure.
Since you're too tall, Joan, and you're also skinnier than me, so it means you won't implode my step-up ladder, because I'm a little thicker than a Snicker. But I would really like to try to get down my pomegranates, because those spidery-looking things that are terrifying to me are trying to go after them.
I
and
forget
eat
what
them
they're
all up.
called.
Oh God, they're horrible.
There's two different versions. There's a poisonous version, which are red and black, and then there's another kind that's just brown, and those aren't poisonous. But I forget what they're fucking called.
They're horrible. Absolutely freaking horrible. And they're ruining.
Yeah, they're an invasive
They're ruining
species.
my pomegranates. They're
Yeah.
causing them to crack, and
Gotta look up what they're called.
because there's a whole herd of them that climb all over them. They're trying to fly in my face and everything to get me to stop bugging them last night. And I'm like,
The
hell
only
no.
other place I've ever seen them is in your old apartments by North.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're,
Well, how's
I don't
Jimmy
remember
doing
that.
today, do you know?
he's going to be coming over because
You
we've
see
got to
him
get this
crawling on
done.
the tables
No,
and
but like,
shit.
how's he doing? Is he...
He's hanging in there. It's just the whole thing was just shitty. We both worked with that man all day. And I told him, you're going to die if you do not go to the hospital. I told him that specifically. I go, you have a serious heart condition.
I'm not trying to blow it in your face. I don't want to set the monkey.
When somebody has a heart condition like that, if they have diarrhea for more than 2 hours, they need to be in a hospital.
See, I didn't know that, but what's weird is, remember when
Dehydration.
we were doing the art sale at his house, like before he ever moved, I started getting, like, when I get premonition dreams, if I have it recurring, like where
It happens.
if in a so like if I have the same dream within 3 months, like more than twice,
It's
it's
gonna
gonna happen
Yeah.
within less than 6 months at least.
Because
And,
I've been the same way since I was little. In fact, I have a scar on the side of my throat because in this one, I actually, while I was getting ready to go to school, because my girlfriend Jody and I would switch off. Hey, are you going to come to my house this morning to pick me up to walk to the bus
The
stop?
cat's here.
Right.
Or am I going to go over there and pick her up?
Yeah.
Literally, I was in front of this mirror. It burnt. I didn't even feel it, the curling iron burning my neck. And it burned up a chunk of my hair even. But
What happened?
I had the vision when I was looking in the mirror, getting ready for school. I heard the phone call. I'm stoned. I heard the phone call, and it was Jody going, "Hey, Shelly, are you going to come over and pick me up this morning, or am I going to come over to you?" I literally walked into the kitchen, just like I saw in my vision. I grabbed the phone. It didn't even ring yet. And I go, "Jody, I'm going to come over and pick you up." And she goes, "How did you know I was calling?" And it took literally a chunk of my skin off, because when you burn it with the curling iron,
So
just
it did
took a
happen in
chunk.
real life? Or?
Yeah, it really did. She was calling me, just like I saw it in the mirror. But I've had those dreams ever since I was a little girl.
Remember when
And they
Cuddles fell
happen.
in the pond? And I had the dream all the way at my dad's? I had been gone for, like, I think they kept me, like, 2 extra days and stuff, because I had just started, I don't...
Like school or something?
Yeah, I think I did start kickboxing then, because I was 16 when she died.
Oh.
So I'd already been in high school for a while. But no, I was at my dad's, and
She
had
died
it
on
totally...
your birthday.
Yeah, I know, that sucked. You're like, come outside. I asked for a bike, and I was like, this is not a bike, and this is like a shit day. I thought, dog had a good life, so fun.
No, she started out with a good life, and sadly I was a horrible pet owner. I've had to deal with my issues on being a horrible pet owner in the past. And after you survive brain bleeds, it kind of makes you a little more like a little sensitive nutsack. Because you start to think about these things, and then you go, man, I really was an asshole to those dogs. Cuddles was an inside dog.
Yeah.
I got Cuddles when I was 6 months pregnant with Alexis.
My little
Cuddles
crib
was
buddy.
soiled prematurely. Literally, she had no teeth when I got her. I had to bottle feed her. If I gave her water out of like an Arrowhead container, I had to take that serrated cup and drop it almost down.
I thought we were
she
going to have
fit
to
right
bottle
here.
feed Mavis.
She was right here, literally in the palm of my hand like this. So, of course, she was trying to nurse on me and everything because she could smell the milk. She's still a baby. But I potty trained that dog very quickly because she was attached to me. We had a bond.
Yeah.
When I went through my
Okay.
divorce
Thank you guys.
and I moved from there to here, then I got caught going to college and all this dating crap. My dogs took second stage. They didn't take the first stage anymore. You know, whereas Cuddles was my daily. I'd use her to wake up Mariah to go to school. Get the sissy, get the sissy. And Alexis would be laughing in her crib as Cuddles would go up her head, circle her, go down to her feet, and come back up again. And she played soccer. That dog was just precious.
That
It
was
a
so
little
fun,
Shih Tzu.
and she was cool. It was a smart dog.
She was a wonderful
Great.
dog.
But
No, I
Definitely
learned
not
about
unheard
those
of for dogs
things
to
and
play sports. So.
yeah.
she was when we had the pond right here.
Mhm.
She would go out to what we called Pride Rocks. It looked like the one in Lion King,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I
it's
had
time
a
to
dream
close
that one of the
windows.
times she was sitting there messing with the fish,
Does
the
he-
rock slipped and she fell in and it like landed on her. Like the dream I had was worse than what happened, but it was like a, oh shit, that could happen kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I called her and she was telling me what actually happened. I'm like, damn, even down from looking outside the kitchen window and everything, it was like the details were the same. And there's,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh.
I actually
Intuition.
saved
I had a
my
snake
cousin
dream,
from
too.
getting drowned from drowning
oh shit.
because what was it? We were having a pool party and my aunt and which was their parent and my grandma were not paying attention and he had his vest off, his floaty vest. He like had already taken it off. It's like, all right, well, why is he hanging around the pool? And I, already fully dressed, already done with the pool, inside the house, ran out.
Hey, wait, Freya, stop it. Quit
because
scaring my birds. you little
yeah, like
shit.
I saw him like leaning over in the pool trying to grab something, and I had
don't
been
want them
that kid
training those
before,
dogs. Bad habits.
and so like I almost drowned when I was
Just get
9.
my boy to sniff.
Yeah,
me.
and so
Mom, you're beyond training at this point. You never train them. You
No,
have
the
to,
baby.
though.
Well,
I
you
don't
can
want him
still
attacking
train.
You
birds.
can start, but you
Yeah,
have
but he's
to.
a baby. I don't
You'd
want
have to
him
be
picking
really
up after
consistent.
Freya.
Mhm.
That's the scary thing.
you just have to. That's the only thing is it has to be consistent.
Yeah, they
And
get
that's how
set
they
in their
learn.
ways.
And it can
Yeah.
usually take like hours to get a routine going with them too,
Yeah.
to get them on board with it, and then you have to show up and do it every day too. Still.
All right,
Yeah.
finish saying what you were saying, girlfriend. I'm sorry I interfered, but,
Oh,
it was like
yeah,
squirrel. I saw
no,
my dog and I didn't want to train the whole herd.
But yeah, my little cousin and everything, he was reaching for something in the pool, and I could see it and everything. I knew that they weren't paying attention. I ran all the way out, and their dad saw me running, so he ran after me. And I jumped in and I lifted him up because he'd already been in the pool by the time I got there.
Was he
So,
okay? Did he
yeah.
swallow water, or is
He swallowed a little bit, but
Not
not,
enough
enough.
to- okay,
not
good.
enough to do any damage.
Do you guys
Well, you-
realize it only takes an inch of water to drown?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, we were talking
And the
about
scary
that.
thing about it is this is what happens. Your airway is just like when you squeeze a bottle, it pops out.
Mhm.
That's all your lungs do. And sometimes they
Bad.
suck in at the worst time. So picture a carburetor. Bump, bump. I got that choke wide open. Okay? Your tongue is your choke, basically, along with your epiglottis. The epiglottis is making sure, hey, go ahead, drink that martini. I won't let any of it get into the lungs. I'll block it.
Yeah.
But if you cough, laugh, cry, sneeze, it opens up. So if you happen to be the unlucky recipient that is actually swallowing something at that time, it could go straight in your lungs.
Oh, yeah.
Because that flapper valve called the epiglottis is not there to protect it.
Damn.
And this is why I teach
Actually,
people
sense.
to the left,
when-
because your stomach sits right here. And it literally is shaped like a candy cane. It comes down like this and curves to the left. So that's why I always tell people, put them in the recovery, to the left, to the left. I use the Beyonce song to remind them.
Yeah.
And people look at me like I've lost my mind, and I go, I have died 4 times.
I love learning shit like this, man.
Well, no,
Yeah.
and it's like,
And-
you know,
but-
like
but
having
here's the importance
handy
of it.
tips like that. Like it's,
We're sitting here bullshitting the breeze. We're perfectly comfortable in our skin and where we're at right now.
Yeah.
We don't have the flight fright engaged. And now our brains are going, holy fuck. Do I remember the steps of how to do this?
yeah.
I have to get involved. they're gonna die or they're dead. I gotta bring them back. It is like you're having a bipolar moment for him because you have two halves of your brain fighting each other, and you
Oh
don't
my
have
God, like-
Dumbledore there silence yelling over to everybody in the freaking
No kidding. When
cafeteria.
he had a seizure and everything, I was like split brain, but I was so focused. I was just like, but as soon as like I realized he was okay and he was over his seizure, I started.
But you can respect why
Yeah,
the
she
belief
started
in
crying.
using a song to make it easier for you to remember. But also, what does that song do for you? It kind of relaxes you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, true.
So
like
if you think of
future.
to the left, you think of that song, because when you're coming into the emergency, the best thing for you to do is actually take your hands, put them above your head, just like you did in track team when you were walking it out. In through your nose, sustain and hold it, out through your mouth. This is like putting reins on your horse, slowing the horse down.
Right.
You're slowing the heart down. You're forcing more airflow into the lungs because the arms are fully open, which is extending the lungs to their greatest capacity.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So that's why, I use that stuff in my safety classes because I want to make it easy for people to know.
Yeah. Easy
Yeah.
to remember.
I forget what they
when
call
you
that,
make
but there's
the
a word for that.
association, like-
Yeah, where
Well,
they remember because
with
of a
my
song.
brain, I've always been better if there's things set to a song or something. I've
Same.
always
Like
been
the
weird like that.
association.
Yeah.
Like she was just saying.
Yeah. So I don't know what my mental thing is, but I do know that that is a thing. And when I was real little, I used to be hooked on 3s and 5s.
I've always been
got-
even numbers.
I got out of it. Well, for some reason, I didn't feel comfortable unless I had 3 or 5 containers of my pasta sauce. And
I tell
because
her
we were
when I
very
was-
poor growing up, and so the thought of not having that food is an anxiety for me. It will literally put me over the edge. My kids have never had to experience that, even though my daughter Alexis acts like she was malnourished and blocked from getting food.
When I was younger, I used to count my steps, and I would only allow like 1 to 2 to 3 steps per square. And eventually, I grew out of that and
Yeah.
I forgot about it one day.
Yeah.
But
It's true. You remember shit, and you're like, why did I do that? Because there's 2 things you have to think of too. Some things that create a causal mechanism like that is going to be a psychological situation that has occurred. Abandonment. I was abandoned by both my parents. And going through that really messed me up psychologically. You don't realize it, but you change. It alters. You become a weirdo. Because you'll find that you seem bizarre to other people. You don't feel like you fit in very well. So you're almost afraid to. And then you can be the over the time bullshitter where you're making everybody laugh. You have to be the life of the party because deep down,
Clown.
that feeling of not having that acceptance is really overwhelming. And plus, I was the oldest. So the youngest one's always going to get the attention. There's 2 years between us. So I'm going to be loud, large, and in charge because, hey,
Yeah.
I'm wanting
Don't
to get
forget
attention
about
too.
me.
Exactly. But I gotta get that house done, man. Tomorrow is a big day.
How much time do you got left on the thing?
I don't know. I've got the timer set on it. I got this timer set too because I got to close these windows. So I wanted to remind myself, hey, it's gonna get that temperature. I don't want the air conditioner running overload. So
and then for the pomegranates, you want me to just like
yeah, if you could just grab one of those buckets, empty buckets, hon, and just. I got the trimmers. I got the long ones there, and I also have. I don't know if they're probably in my kitchen right now. I have my short trimmers too. Yep, that's the turn off the windows. And the next line, we have 5 minutes and 42 seconds, is for the brownies, which I gotta make the homemade Hershey's chocolate frost.
Sounds delicious.
Yep.
It's too bad it's sweet.
Yeah. Up to my back, guys.
Especially because I think it's Princeton's.
smoke one more. Smoke one more. Yeah, you're lucky. I'm actually, again, that's why I don't want to be told that I'm not trying to work on my health, because you don't know how badly I want to eat fucking brownies and fucking cupcakes and a goddamn honey bun even. Every time I walk into a store, I'm just like, man, I wish I could have that. Man, I wish I could have that. And I could, but I care about my health. You don't have to get mad. I'm
not
telling you
getting
to.
mad.
Yeah, you're getting defensive. But it's okay. I'm just saying, like, I'm proud of myself for that. You should be proud of me for it too. Okay, well then there should be no tenseness here. I'm just acknowledging the fact that, see, I could be the other way. And I'm happy I'm not. Because it shows discipline. It teaches me something. It shows me something. I'd rather be healthier. I don't want to fucking have a seizure and almost die in.
But it's like having one treat every now and then, like a little bit, wouldn't necessarily kill you.
I know. But I mean, I can't really allow it if there's a constant reminder too. But again, it's for the better, at least for a while. Like, I mean, I've fucked my body up for a long time. And I just, you know, get in shape for a while, do everything right for a while. And then maybe, like I said, my birthday comes around, I can have myself a jelly donut. And then we'll see, what happens after that. But, fuck, a year, 2 years on a completely good diet and exercise wouldn't do me any harm.